EU bailout. We're joined now by two young people from Greece who are living in Scotland. Kostas Vlachopoulos is a PhD student at Glasgow University, and Alkistis Terzi is a freelance filmmaker in Edinburgh. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Alkistis, tell us your story. How did you end up moving from a seaside town in Greece to live in Scotland?
Well, I started for the studies, basically, because being a filmmaker, you don't have many choices in Greece, where to study, and even after the words, where to go and, well, work.
So you came here to study,
I came here to study.
And then the financial crisis struck.
Yes.
That's where you stayed.
And when that happened, I was halfway through my studies, and I was in the middle whether to go back because there were no money from my family to support me being here, or start working here.
And any prospect of going back to Greece? I mean, were there jobs to be had, or was
No, there were no jobs. All my friends and family started having a lot of problems being unemployed. And of course that hits your self-esteem, especially when you're young and you've never worked. And you finish studying and, well, there is nothing really for you there.
Kostas, you came across here more recently. You were studying across there. You came across to...
In 2012, in the middle of a big crisis in Greece. I started with a master's here in Edinburgh, and with the prospect to find a work here in Scotland, in the academia, actually.
And now, are you looking to Greece, or are you here for a bit longer?
I would love to go back to Greece, and I would love to go back to vote as well last weekend. But I think the situation is very tough now, and what I'm thinking is to stay here and try to do my best in the academic sector.
What are your friends and family telling you? Because, I mean, half of young people in Greece are unemployed. It's an extraordinary figure.
Actually, it's 60%
Worse than
now.
that, is it?
60% now. The situation is really tough. Austerity measures of the last 5 years has destroyed the economy. Employees and pensioners have lost nearly 50% of their income. And I think that this kind of policy that imposed in Greece has this tremendous result.
Right. So neither of you were in a position to vote in the referendum. You were both across here. Yes. What would you have voted if you had been back in Greece?
I would have voted. My family as well did that for me almost. I voted no.
You'd have voted no?
I would have voted no.
You as well?
As well.
No. Why?
Because, well, basically what Greeks did and what I would do is support my government, which was coming up with plans again and again for months that were not heard by the EU.
Who do you blame for the current state of Greece?
It could be corruption of our previous politics, but there is a bigger plan that I haven't fully realized yet, and I think financially wise the financial prime minister Varoufakis threw a lot of light in there for everyone to understand.
Kostas, what do you make of it? I mean, do you see the problem as being a Greek problem or a problem of Europe? Who's responsible?
Obviously, I think the problem is a European problem, because we see many countries after the Greek crisis broke out to have problems in their sectors, in the bank sector and the public sectors, like Ireland, like Spain, like Italy, with a huge debt. So from this we can confirm that the problem is a European problem and needs a European common solution.
Do you blame the Germans for being too tough on Greece?
I don't want to use stereotypes.
Right.
I think that what needs to be done now is to reach a common ground and to reach a common solution to for a result that has to be viable and which will be focused on jobs, growth and prospect.
Are you hopeful? I mean, we hear tonight that The warning is if a deal is not done by the end of the week, that is it. And the Greek banks will collapse and Greece could end up bankrupt.
I'm definitely hopeful. You have to be in a state like this. I think being Greek, the country that funded democracy, I still believe strongly in democracy, and what democracy means is that the basic human rights are preserved.
Almost out of time. Are you hopeful?
I'm very hopeful, yeah.
For Greece as well
a person,
as for you?
I'm very hopeful.
Yeah.
But,
and will you be going back anytime soon, or is that just off the agenda until things change dramatically?
No, I will definitely go back in 1 month from now.
Well, good luck to you both. We'll follow events in Greece and across Europe. Thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, opposition parties have joined forces after an emergency debate at Westminster to oppose UK government proposals to limit the voting powers of Scottish MPs. Conservative ministers say legislation which only affects England should not become law without the consent of English MPs. They say the plans are designed to redress an imbalance brought about by further devolution. But critics say they've been rushed and will turn Westminster into a quasi-English parliament. Here's Andrew Black.